Hey guys, it's West Coast Arachnids. What you're looking at is a microscope. What we're trying to do is look down inside. That what you see there, that little pointy part there, it's hard to see beyond that little glare on the glass there, but it won't go away. That is a mite. That tiny little white dot is what you're looking at through there. I believe these are that white dot there. It's dead. And I believe they are grain mites, flower mites that came in with my feeders. And now I have to find out which feeders they came in with. So I'm going to pause this for a second and pull some stuff out. Okay. Needless to say, I'm not too happy. I'm gonna have to go through all my mealworms, all my crickets, and see what's going on. I just bought these, which I'm not even gonna open. I'll check them later. I got them yesterday. So these are superworms. And I'm keeping them completely separate from everything else, as I don't want them to get infected. I'm pretty sure, I mean, where I found that mite was in my baby cricket farm. In this. And the only way I can see it getting transferred in there was through the food. Unless one of the adult crickets had some on it and dropped one in here and it just kind of went rampant. So what I'm going to do is, I know these have mites on them. And yeah, I can see a bunch right now. And they're on the food. I can see them crawling in there. I wish I could save these baby crickets, because I just got them to hatch, which really bites because I need them right now really badly for my baby spiders. But those are gone. They're gonna get turfed. These are gone. As you can see, there's already a bunch of dead ones laying on the ground. I just cleaned this out a few days ago. I'm not sure if you've seen the upload I did. Check the lid. Not sure what that little brown thing is, but we're going to check it out underneath the microscope, or the telescope. Actually, I can see it right now. It's just looks like just a piece of fluff or something. But I don't see this being any good on here, but I can see it quite well. It's really hard to tell. No, it's just a piece of fluff. You can see it laying on its side there. So there's nothing on the lid of this, which is good. I don't see any mites in the water. I think every cricket in here is dead. No, there's a bunch of live ones in here. You can see their antennas sticking out. This really looks like hell. I'm just going to check the food here. And that's the dead giveaway, because they will be all over the food or the dead crickets. That's where they'll go to, and they need moisture, so you'll see them in the water. They'll actually die in there. They'll float in the water. I don't see any, so the source needs to have come from somewhere else. And if I remember correctly, I had man, I can't believe how many of these died in just a day or two. I'm wondering if I should be putting substrate in here or something, because these shouldn't have all died like that. Of course, I did use a different type of food, which is going in the garbage. Is this. I bought some nuts and berries and such for them to feed on. So that's gone. The baby crickets. I really wish I could save those baby crickets. That's just too bad. I'm not gonna risk it. I have way too many spiders, and I do not want to be pulling mites out of every one of their containers or their enclosures. I would have to completely change out every single enclosure here. I mean, they're not huge. And today, actually, there'll be another upload either today or tomorrow after this one, of a rehousing. So for now, I'm going to have to pull one of these crickets here and just really check it out. I don't see any mites on this at all. Come here, little fella, I'm not done with you. I got him in a real good way so I can really check them out underneath and such. They'll congregate, if they're parasitic mite, they'll congregate around the joints, around the mouth, the eyes, the face, anywhere they can get in and, you know, get to a soft spot underneath their shell. If it's a male cricket, it'll have wings. They'll be all underneath the wings, and I don't see anything on this at all. Problem is, these guys are pretty much all dead, so they're all going to be turfed. What I'll do is, the birds can have the seeds and the food in here, and the seeds I bought, and the berries. There's absolutely no mites that I can see in here whatsoever. Not even on the dead ones. I am looking quite thoroughly. Sorry about the camera, guys. You're not going to see much but grossness here. And this is really disgusting. I mean, this happened literally overnight. I cleaned this out yesterday. I redid the whole thing the other day and put them all in here and took them out of the tank. Well, that was about a week ago, but since then I've been doing pretty much daily cleans in here because they've been dying off, and I really don't know why. So I don't particularly see any mites in here. Nothing that looks like mites or eggs. You'll see them moving. They don't like the light, so they will try to get away from it. I'll give you a good look into. Just going to close this up. So this really only leaves me one source of where it's going to be coming from, and that's my mealworms. And that is really unfortunate because they take so long to take off and get a good colony going. I mean, I could potentially try to use some of them. I'm not sure. We'll see. Like, I have two colonies. I mean, if one's clean and one's not, then I'll just turf the one and keep the other. But I'm really going to have to look hard. I'm going to have to sift through this, clean it out completely. Check the beetles. The smaller one, okay, this is what I have. I'll have to excuse the mess down there. I've been ripping apart computers again. But that is the bigger one, and I don't keep lids on them. This is the smaller one with the beetles. I'm going to remove all that dried food. This one here, I mean, you can see that right there. That's a carrot. It's completely caked in meal, or what do you call it? I'm having a brain fart. The wheat bran. So the wheat bran around that is moist, and that's what the mites are going to want to get into. So I'm going to have to check these out thoroughly, and I've had them separated, so it's just a matter of going through and seeing if they're both contaminated, or maybe it's just the crickets. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe something got in here somehow. Maybe it was in the seed. I did put, you can see this little seed around here. I did put that in there, and I only have found it in this so far. Now, if you see, you can see, where's my pointy stick? I'll put it way over here to clean them all off. I have to clean this one again. So this right here is full of mites. You can see those two little white things on there. I don't know if you can see them. It's shaking like a leaf. Let's see if I can get a good view of that. See the crickets running around. Those are not mites on here. It's just substrate sticking to it. Get that off there. Right there, that's a mite. And if you watch, it'll move. There's actually two of them there, one on either side. And what I'll do, let's do this. Since we know those are mites, take them out. Put them on a nice clean surface here. And we'll get a look at them. I'll try to get, now they've both fallen off, they're so small. There we go, that's how I see them. Those two little white dots. Sorry, this is hard to do, I'm trying to look through the camera and do this. These two little white dots are mites. Now to me, they just look like flower mites, green mites, which I'm really glad I didn't move these downstairs now, because they would get into the kitchen. This way I can just disinfect this area here, vacuum, throw out the vacuum cleaner bag, and clean it all up and be done with them. And I don't think they've gotten out. I mean, I don't see any up the edges of this thing. That doesn't mean anything though. There was none on the lid. Can't see any on the sides of it. Now I'm looking at this. I mean, there's nothing on the sides of the water droplets, and it looks like a new colony, and it only seems to be around the food that's in there. Now those two little bowls there are lids. So it's just a matter of turfing these out, which really sucks. I mean, look at that. Those are all crickets. And I suppose I could try to save them, but I'm really risking it. They're not harmful if they're just flower mites. They're not going to be harmful to the spiders. All I have to do is really just bring the humidity down, and it will kill them off, because it cannot survive under 55% humidity. And in my room, you can see right now we are at 40% humidity here. That's in the room. The tarantula enclosures all get sprayed accordingly to whatever species they are, so the humidity inside there stays proper. Of course, everything's got dry spells. They're not gonna die if they dry out for a day. That really sucks that I have mites. I can't believe it. It's what happens, I guess, when you're breeding your own food. This is the risks you take. Especially bringing it in. You know, you bring it in from wherever you buy it from, and you have to trust that source is going to be mite-free, which it's not. And I said before that my pet store in this area is closing that I buy the stuff from. Fortunately, there's another pet store that only sells pet food that is taking on crickets and mealworms and superworms. That's where I bought the superworms from, to compensate for the loss in town of the only pet store that sold those things. So we will have a supply of them, but I was speaking to the owner. They know nothing about this stuff. They're actually buying from the same source that they were buying from downtown. So I explained to them that the source is actually not a very good source and they need to find a new one. So I'm gonna speak to the owner. I only spoke to one of the clerks, but I'll speak to the owner and educate them on what they should get and what they should be looking for when they get them in. Make sure that they are clean and healthy, or to send them back and get their money back, or just write them off as DOA and burn them or turf them. It's cold enough right now, it'll pretty much kill everything. So I'm gonna have to, once I've dealt with my feeder farms, I'm gonna have to go through each and every one of these enclosures and carefully check it and make sure there's no mites. I have such a long journey ahead of me, which is fine. I mean, I'm gonna be rehousing the Pecenserides, be rehousing the Brachypelma vagans, the Lasiodora difficilis. They're all getting rehoused into these bigger ones. And yesterday, I opened up my patio door and there was an orb weaver. I don't want to really put this anywhere here. There he is there. A little round ball. It's hard to see through that. That's sticky tape that was on there. There was a label. But this little fella fell to the ground and he didn't leave a web to get back up. And it was way too cold and he was barely moving, and if I left him down there he would have died for sure. So I brought him in the house because it was my fault that he leaped out of his web. It's a response reaction, you know. They jump down other webs. Usually they leave a safety line when they go down, you know, some web that they just hang down off of, but they just let it go really quickly and drop straight down to the ground, and then when everything seems safe they climb back up. But he didn't leave a line because he's too cold. When I opened the door I startled it and down it went. So my fault. So this guy's gonna get housed in here for the next few months until spring comes. Hopefully I can feed him. Without my farms, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no way of getting small crickets or small mealworms. I may have to just deal with the mites until spring, or until I can get a new farm going. Which really sucks. Oh well. Anyway, I'll keep you updated on the mites. It's West Coast Arachnids. Please comment, like, and subscribe. We're almost at the 100 mark for the month. That's awesome. My birthday's in a few days. I think we're at 83 today. My goal was for 100 for the end of February. We're almost there. We've actually come a long way in 1 month. It's awesome. Thank you very much, guys. So please comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. Alright, bye for now.